What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we are talking Bitcoin and Bitcoin. And I'll be the first one to admit, one of the biggest problems or the biggest fears about Bitcoin is that it's a little sketchy. Like, the unknown really makes things a little sketchy when it comes to Bitcoin. And I did a video last week talking about how I was going to be purchasing Bitcoin, and I asked if anybody wanted to see exactly how I was going to do it. I've done so much research. I've looked at a number of different ways you can buy and store. So in this video, I want to tell you what I've learned, give you a couple places that you can buy Bitcoin without feeling sketched out. Also, show you ways that you can store your Bitcoin off of these programs in case they get hacked, and you could store your Bitcoin safely and know that it's yours and that nobody else is going to have access to it. And you could do this for not a lot of money. I think if you clicked and watched this video, you kind of know what Bitcoin is. If you don't, I'll link that first video where I kind of broke it down, and you can check that out in the description down below. But if you're here, you're kind of in a position where you're either reviewing different types of exchanges or you're just trying to figure out how to buy Bitcoin. And when it comes to buying Bitcoin, it's the same as if you were to buy and trade a stock. We have things called brokerages, and they are just exchanges. Places where you buy a share of a stock and then you sell a share of a stock, and you have that transaction between you and somebody else. Well, you can't trade cryptocurrency on these particular platforms. And I know there's a little asterisk there with Robinhood, and Webull actually just announced it today, which I'll get to in a minute. But essentially, all a Bitcoin exchange is the opportunity to go on and sell Bitcoin for a certain price, and then also buy it for a certain price as well. And there are a number of different options. And to get the Robinhood and now Webull out of the way, guys, do not buy cryptocurrency on one of those apps. And here's the reason. You do not actually own the Bitcoin when you buy it inside Robinhood. All you own is the right to buy and sell it at a certain price. It's never yours. It's always Robinhood's Bitcoin. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I say we could take these off of the exchange and store them ourselves outside the industry. In Robinhood, you can't do that. You can't use the Bitcoin you purchased to pay people or to send money to someone like we do at Venmo. You cannot do that inside Robinhood. Also, people always say to me in the comments, well, Robinhood has free, no fees. Guys, if you read their fine print, Andre Jick did a great video about it. Maybe I'll link that down below as well if you're really curious about the Robinhood issue. They factor that into the price of the Bitcoin on their platform. So you actually are paying fees. And when it comes to fees, that's going to be a major discussion piece for when we buy it, because we are now in this age where when you buy and sell stocks, there's no more fees anymore. Everyone's gone to no fees. So with Bitcoin, there are still transaction fees, and everyone thinks this is like effed up. Like, who do they think they are? When just a couple years ago, guys, we were paying $8, $10, sometimes $20 to make a trade on E-Trade and these other big platforms that we have. There has to be some sort of transaction fees, and one day crypto might be, no fees. But don't let fees necessarily be the number one deciding factor for you. Now, inside the platform that I'm going to talk about, there's actually two ways that we can help avoid fees, and I'm going to talk about that. And also, guys, this is not necessarily a debate on which exchange is the best. There are some great exchanges out there, and they each have their own pros and cons. This is not a pros and cons of exchanges. It's just the one that I particularly chose after I did my research. So, guys, I decided to use Coinbase as my exchange. Now, full disclosure, Coinbase does have some of the highest fees inside the crypto exchange world, but the way I think of it, two things. One, you kind of get what you pay for. They are also one of the most secure exchanges out there, and we're talking safety. Now, can you go on Google and find some horror stories on Coinbase? Absolutely. But I can tell you some horror stories about Chase, Capital One, Bank of America. Like, there are always, nothing is extremely perfect, but we're talking in comparison, they have one of, if not the safest exchanges on the market right now that people are offering. Another common exchange is Gemini. You can even use Cash App. This was the one that I chose. And even though the fees are a lot, I'm going to show you a way that we can bypass those, get the fees down lower using Coinbase, and then have them very, very competitive inside the fee realm. Another real reason that I like Coinbase so much is its platform, like its user availability, okay? And on this platform, you could trade a bunch of different cryptos. Right now, I just have a little bit of Bitcoin in here, and I'm going to show you how to transfer it off into a secure place. That's why I have some. But also, you can do your watch list. So right now, I'm only trading Bitcoin. So if I click this, I can go in and see some great information. Like I said, it's nice and clean, easy to use. Over here, we can buy and sell that relatively easy. They give you some stats. You can look at their stock chart and things like that. Right now, it's soaring. That's awesome. Will it go down? Probably. As we know, this is just a speculative investment. But inside here, I want to show you, this is the wallet. So right now, I have all the exchanges that I've done so far. And inside my Bitcoin wallet in Coinbase, I have 0.0049 or $89 worth of Bitcoin. So you buy it and then it goes into a wallet. Now that wallet can either be stored on the exchange or you could take it off their exchange. Inside the exchange, if Coinbase were to get hacked or something like that, they can go into that wallet inside Coinbase and they can take that right out. Where if you have it offline in something we call cold storage, then that can't happen. So a way to protect ourselves. And I'll get to that in just a second. So let's just show how we would buy it. And I want to show you the fees and a way that we can quickly bypass that very, very easily. Up here, we have send or receive. So this is how you'd send your wallet number to somebody, and then they could send it to you, or they'd give you their wallet number, because this is anonymous. We're just trading back and forth between wallets, which I'll show you in just a minute. But maybe we just want to press trade, okay? Now I want to buy Bitcoin. I already have my bank linked. I'm going to press $100, okay? I'm going to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin. It's going to preview that. I can preview this buy right here. As we can see, there are $2.99 worth of fees, 3% for a $100 purchase. Now, how can you get through this? Well, if you do not have a Coinbase account, you can use my link down in the description. And if you put $100 worth of Bitcoin, you purchase $100 worth of Bitcoin, you will get $10 of free Bitcoin. So your first purchase, that will essentially be a net $7 gain. Now, full disclosure, I'll get $10 as well. But if you want to avoid, say you want to just put $100 in and see where it goes, use Coinbase and use that link down below, because then you will essentially have to pay the $3 fee, but then you'll get $10 back. So you'll still net $7 of free Bitcoin if you do this. Now, if you already have a Coinbase account, then purchasing it on the Coinbase platform isn't your best option for fees. So just to recap that quick, if you're opening a Coinbase account for the first time and you think you're going to invest $100, do it here on Coinbase, but use the link down below to sign up so you get that $10 and it waives the fees on that first purchase. If you already have a Coinbase account, you might have heard of something called Coinbase Pro. Now I'm going to show you what Coinbase Pro is and how it relates right here to Coinbase and how it will significantly lower your fees. Okay, so here I am inside Coinbase Pro, and it looks so much more intimidating. And essentially, Coinbase is just the broker, where this is just the exchange inside that broker. And this used to actually be called GDAX, and then it became Coinbase Pro. And guys, there's a lot of intimidating things going on here, but if we look at it for just what it's worth, we'll see that it's not that intimidating. Up here, you can select your market. Now, I am in Bitcoin US dollars. Now, the same thing as we press in Coinbase, we are going to want to trade. So watch this. If I press trade and I put down here $100 of that, I'm going to place that order, but we see the fee is only 50 cents. It is $2.50 cheaper if you use pro.coinbase.com as opposed to Coinbase. And everything's linked. It's the same exact company. So use your same login, same everything, and you essentially save $2.50. All these charts and all this madness going over here intimidates people away from that $2.50. All right, so you're like, all right, well, I got the $10 free from you. I waived the fees. Can I get my money from Coinbase over to Coinbase Pro? And yes, you can do that. You got your $100 worth. You got the free Bitcoin. Now we're going to move it over here. Because they're the same company, you can move them back and forth between your wallets. See, in Coinbase Pro, I have a wallet as well. Right now it has $25 in it, and it has some Bitcoin that we're going to transfer out to cold storage in just 1 second. But first, I want to take all of the money from my Coinbase account, and I want all my Bitcoin to be in this one wallet so that I can move it off the exchange. We're going to come over here. I want to click deposit. So I'm going to deposit money into this wallet from my Coinbase wallet. Then it'll all be in one spot, and we'll be able to ship it right over to here super easy. So I press deposit. I'm going to deposit Bitcoin, and I could do it from a certain address or from Coinbase. Transfer funds instantly from Coinbase to Coinbase Pro. Sounds sick. Free, easy, instant. I'm coming from Coinbase. I have 0.49 over to here. I'm going to click the max. It's going to send everything over. This is no fee, and it happens pretty much instantly. I'm going to click deposit, and we'll do this in real time. We'll see how long it takes. Done. The deposit's complete. If I come over here, now I have a new Bitcoin amount right here. And if we want to go in and see what that looks like, I come up here to portfolios, and I see that's $173 worth of Bitcoin that I have right now inside this portfolio. Now, people ask all the time, like, how much is it safe to hold inside one of these? Well, it really, how much are you willing to lose if it gets hacked into? Like, some people don't want to purchase one of these to move it off. It might not be worth it to them, because if they got hacked and they lost $175, it might not be worth purchasing one of these. And I'll talk about the price in just a second. But for me, I want to get it all off of there. As soon as I purchase it, I immediately take it and I put it onto this particular device here. Essentially, it looks like just a USB stick. All right, and it's by a company called Ledger. And what we're going to do is we are going to take that from Coinbase Pro, and we're going to send it onto this device. Now, this device, at the time of this recording, I think it costs about $50, $55. I will leave a link down in the description below. It is an Amazon link. If you use an Amazon link for this, guys, make sure that when you get that package, it is untampered with. It's from Ledger. Like I said, if somebody has the access to this, you never want to buy these used or from anybody else. You want to get them new from the manufacturer, but I got mine through the manufacturer, through Amazon. It came in a sealed box. It looks like an iPhone box. It comes like really, really nice. All right, and there's all the instructions to set it up. It takes about 10 seconds to set up on your computer. You just download the software, and then we're ready to do that. So let's go in and move all this Bitcoin from Coinbase Pro onto this storage device. So essentially this Nano Ledger, it's going to click right in here. And there's many cold wallet storage devices. They range all the way up to hundreds of dollars, okay? When this comes on, it's going to ask me to enter my PIN code, so I'm going to do that right now. I'm also going to open their online software that it comes with. Now, what I'm going to click is over here. I'm going to start inside the Ledger program, and I'm going to click Receive. I'm going to add to my Bitcoin account. It's going to ask me on my device to open the Bitcoin app on the device, so I'm going to press both buttons just like it says on my screen. It now says the application is ready. Now, we see here's an address for that Bitcoin. I'm going to copy that address. But I'm also going to confirm on my device, this number is on my device as well. I'm going to confirm that. Now we're ready. We have that copied and done. Okay, so now that I have that address that I have copied, I'm going to go into withdraw. I'm going to click Bitcoin. I'm going to go to a Bitcoin address, the wallet address from my Ledger. I'm going to paste this in and say use address. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to show me there's a small network fee. And that's about $2, all right? If you do the math, you multiply this by the current, that's going to be, the current fee. So I have to make sure that the money that I put in and I'm going to ship over is the amount of money that I have plus the fees. So I'm just going to do 0.008 just to make life and numbers really easy. I'm going to transfer 0.008 Bitcoin over, and I'm going to press withdraw. Your withdrawal has started. We're going to press done. Then I'll wait a couple minutes and I'll see when this comes over. It does take a little bit of time. I'll let you know how much time that is when it actually happens. All right, guys, so it's been a couple of minutes now, and we see that is now inside my Nano Ledger. Okay, so now this is where it's going to be stored. Now, it's stored inside this program. It's not stored on the USB device. This USB device is just the key to unlock and get those out. So if you were to happen to lose this, it got destroyed, the dog ate it. When you buy this, they're going to tell you about that. You can still get your Bitcoin, but you have to make sure that you have your passcodes and you know your pins and the security with this to transfer over to a new device. So they're not stored on here. This can get eaten by the dog. It's stored inside Ledger, but that's it. And we'll see Right now I have that inside my Ledger program, and if I go back over to my Pro, we see I just have a little bit left in here, and as I continue to buy on a regular basis, and that's really it. I'll unput this, I'll put it in a safe place, and that really is it. Guys, if you did not see that first video, I'll leave that right up here. Happy Bitcoin trading, guys. Don't forget to click the link down in the description below if you want that free $10 of Bitcoin from Coinbase with your first $100 purchase. Also, too, I'll leave a link for the Nano down in the description below. Until I see you guys on the next one, stay positive, work really, really hard always. Be kind to other people. Hope you have yourself an amazing day and a better tomorrow.